Well guys, welcome to another video. It's great to be back out now. You've probably seen earlier on in the video I was actually on the ferry. I've took a ferry ride over from Vancouver and I've came to Vancouver Island. Really excited to see what we can see this weekend. Now I came here last weekend, I came over to visit Adam Gibbs and I'm out with Adam Gibbs this morning. I'm not sure where he's at. I'm sure he's about here somewhere, but we've came down to a place called Nanoose Bay this morning. Now the rock formations are amazing, they really are. We got up nice and early, we came in on the scooters this morning. It was absolutely brilliant, it really was, it was a laugh. So we're going to have a good look around this area. We're hoping for a nice sunrise. It just didn't quite happen, we've got a bit too much cloud. But the cloud that is there, it's really nice, so the light's nice and balanced. Now I did come out to Vancouver Island last weekend and there was no clouds at all. It was really sunny, we had a lot of blue sky, so it was quite a struggle for photographs. We came to Nanoose Bay, we came 2 evenings on the trot trying for some images. Now the light was okay, but we were hoping for the sky to light up and some of the cloud that we had to light up, but it was just all at the wrong time. We would come and the tide was maybe too far in, or the tide was at the right level, but we just didn't have the light. So it's always worth just keep trying, keep coming back till you can get some images. Now Adam came away with some images. I took a couple of images myself, so I'll put those images up. The following day we went up to Englishman River Falls, but same again, we just didn't have that light, so I didn't get any video put together last weekend. But this weekend we have got cloud, we've got better conditions than we had last week. So the plan for this morning, because we didn't get that sunrise, we are going to stay in this location. We're going to reference some shots for later on. Hopefully we'll get some nice light this evening, we'll just have to see. Adam's over there, he's trying out some compositions. I've tried some compositions over there, and that's what you've got to do. Don't waste the time, don't just say you haven't got the light because we didn't get that sunrise. Stay in the area and just reference it and keep taking shots, and then you can go back and have a look at them, so when you come back later on you know what you're going to be going for. So hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to get back to the camera, try and work out some shots for later on and see how things go, but great to be back out. So what we're actually doing, we're just really getting used to this area. We're walking this part of the coastline here. Now what's really attractive is the shapes in the rocks. You'll be able to see the formations and patterns on the surface of these rocks. But also where you've got these pools of water, some nice reflective light there. Now because it is quite overcast, it's nice and balanced, but it'd be nice just to have that little bit more light just to shine on these rocks. So that's what we're doing. We're literally just scouring this area, looking in the rock pools and looking for areas of interest. Now I really like this area here. You'll be able to see standing in part of the composition that I'm going to take. What I want to capture here, I want to actually capture the shapes and the formations of these rocks. You'll be able to see how the water looks really nice. Now I'm not overly using the polarizing now, the reason being I like that glare on the water. It really adds something to the scene. When you take away the glare off the top of the water, you can see through and it really flattens out the scene. So having this reflection on the top of the water, not overly using that polarizer, it really does add interest to the image. Now what I'm going to go for is obviously these leading lines that lead you through the frame. Got these lovely shapes that lead out towards the background there. Now I'm thinking probably a square crop or a 4x5. It's just a really intimate scene, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking just for those intimate detail shots, because over on the far shoreline there's a lot of houses in that area. It really makes it distracting in the images. Now, even if the images don't work this morning, it really does give you the feel of the place, and you can go back and check the compositions that you've taken, and then when you come back later on, you've got an idea of what you're going to be looking for. Now, all you've got to hope for is the tide to be at the right level in conjunction with the sunset, and hopefully you'll get some colour in these pools that will really set the images off. But it's nice and peaceful here this morning, so it's great just to check out the area and get a good feel for it. So I'm going to take this image and I'm going to carry on, see if there's any more shots. But beautiful morning, great to be out. It looks better without, you know, when I had set up before, it looks better without the tripods there. You know, when you pushed in front.
The light coming out right now, so.
Well, that's all we need, some light just to, I was saying, to cast on those rocks, and we'll see how it works out, eh?
Yeah. I found some nice patterns down there, so that's where I'm going to head.
Right. So we're continuing with our walk, exploring this bit of coastline. What a wonderful morning it is. It's nice just being on Vancouver Island, get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. This part of the coastline, the rock formations really are brilliant. You've really got to think out the box and try and come up with compositions, try and come up with images when we do get better light. So that's what me and Adam's doing at the moment. We're just walking around, we're getting high up, we're getting low down, trying to single out subjects, trying to create leading lines using the patterns and the textures of these rocks just to see what we can come up with. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to just explore a bit more of this coastline. We are going to head back on the scooters up to Adam's. We're going to grab something to eat, and then we'll see how the light plays out tonight. So what do you think of my first workshop? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you
Brilliant workshop.
Yeah?
Yeah. Price is a bit high.
Really?
Yeah.
You get a free muffin. First things first, fish and chips, Mr. Gibbs. Well guys, welcome back. Great to be back out. We're down in the new spare here. It was just nice to go back to Adam's house, and we just chilled out for the afternoon and just waited for this evening to come. Now we headed away from Adam's and we had fish and chips before we came here, so that was really good. Really enjoyed the fish and chips. Tonight we've got a lot of cloud cover, but there's some nice big gaps, so we've just got to cross our fingers and hope that we get a nice sunset. But even if we don't get a nice sunset, because of the cloud cover, it could diffuse some of that light. We could get some nice warm light and some nice shadows in amongst these rocks. Now you'll be able to see, because we are getting some light on these textured rocks, how amazing they really look. We've got these rock features everywhere and they really do look amazing. So what we've got to do is we've actually got to wait for this tide to come in a bit and to go around some of these rocks, and what will happen there is it'll actually start revealing compositions. At the moment it's just a mass of rock on the beach, but when we get that separation using the water, but what we're really relying on tonight is some nice light, a nice sunset. A fiery sunset would be awesome to get it reflecting in those pools that are created as this tide comes in. Now it's about 7 o'clock in the evening now. The tide actually went out round about 5:30, so the tide is on its way in, and we'll just have to see what sort of level it's at when the sunset happens. So yeah, so we're going to scour this area. Adam's a bit further up the beach. We're just going to recce some compositions for then when this water comes in. So we've just been wandering around the beach. It's about another hour till sunset now. We're getting some really nice light, but the problem is we're still waiting for this tide to come in, and that's what we're really counting on tonight, to get some nice rock pools, some nice water around some of these rocks so we can pick out some compositions. But as we've walked up this stretch of beach, we've been walking up and down trying to find what we could. Adam's actually came across this leaf and it's placed in the water here, just in front of some of this nice rock features that we've got. And I love the way that the rock mimics the shape of the leaf. So what I've done is I'm going to take the shot from overhead, pointing down. I have put the polarizer on just to take some sheen off that leaf. Now it'd be nice to get some of that light. It is behind the cloud at the moment, but every now and again you get some nice warm light coming into this area and it really lights up the scene. It's going to be a simple composition, probably a square crop, either square or 4x5, but I think it'll be a square crop, and it's a nice image to take while we're waiting for this water to come in. So I'm taking this image at f16. I've focused directly on the leaf itself, and that's going to get everything else in focus because everything's pretty much flat. So I've dialed in, had a look at the shot, and it's sharp right throughout the shot. But just nice little shot while we wait for that light to happen, see if the sunset happens and see if this water comes a bit further in. So I've came a bit further up the beach. Unfortunately, we haven't got that water. The tide still hasn't made it in. Now the sun's just about to set within the next 5 or 10 minutes. So I've had to move about as much as I can to try and find a subject to photograph. We've still got some nice light, and I've came across this individual rock, and it's full of texture, it's full of lovely shapes and swirls. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm actually wanting to do like a wide pano shot of the surface of this rock because there is so much interest. Now we've still got some of that nice light. The sun hasn't quite set yet, so it's casting some nice light on this rock and it's really bringing out that detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot it from above. Now I'm focusing directly on the rock at f16. Now because it is at different levels, it's not completely flat, I am probably going to take 2 or 3 shots. I'm going to focus stack it just to edge my bets and make sure that it's all in focus. But it's a lovely textured piece of rock that I want to photograph. And yeah, we'll sit it out and we'll wait a bit longer, see if we get some of the water coming in. You never know, we might get a nice blue hour, you know, and the water might be up by that point. It's just one of those things you've just got to keep returning. The tide hasn't played out how we thought it would, but it's still been a great evening, it really has. And it's given us a chance to take a bit more of a look at this area. So I'm going to grab this image and I'll put it on the screen above and see how this sunset goes. So I've came further up, we've had sunset. It was snuffed out by a lot of cloud, but we've got a lot of colour there. Now the thing is, we didn't get the tide up to where we wanted to. So it was all a bit hectic. You know, we got some images this morning. One back there, we tried out that leaf. I'm not sure if that composition's worked out, but we found that lovely textured rock. Now, as I turned around, I didn't think sunset was going to come too much, but we had these rock pools and I'm really attracted to these rock pools. So I've actually already took the shot because it was just happening so fast. Hope you can see it's okay. It's quite dark now. But what I liked is I liked the fact that I could have this rock in the foreground, you know, nice area of interest to lead your eye over to these rock pools here. And they were really nice, they're really lit up by the light from the ambient light from the sky. But not only that, in the centre of the image, you've got these lovely colours, the greens of these mosses and the yellows of the moss there. Basically use some of the rocks beyond these rock pools here. Now what I had to make sure to do, I had to make sure that I got my camera level and got it at the right height so that the rocks in the background there weren't clipping the horizon. But we had some lovely colour there. Adam shouted over, he said it's happening, he's getting shots. Now I had a choice to go for this shot or go for the colour in the sky with the longer lens, and because I was here first and it was happening a bit quick, this is where I decided to go. Just a bit unfortunate we didn't get that, you know, we didn't get that water further in. So we are going to call it a day. I've had such a laugh, you know, whizzing about on the scooters, a new form of transport for landscape photography. So if you haven't tried it, definitely give it a go. It's a thumbs up from me and Adam. But we are going to head back now, get up early in the morning. I'm not sure where Adam's got planned on going, but if I don't carry the video on, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope you've really enjoyed the adventure over on Vancouver Island. Big thank you to Adam Gibbs for inviting us over yet again. It's been great to catch up, you know, have a beer, have a laugh, and that's what it's about. And that's the difference, getting out with someone else to shoot photography. You're not on your own, you can bounce off each other and just really enjoy yourself. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, it's much appreciated. Hope you join us for another video. If you haven't seen my channel before, hit the subscribe button. But from me and Vancouver Island, hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching, bye bye.